Well, hello kids. Welcome to Glen's Drum Emporium. We are continuing with part 3 of the Fibes Drum Restoration. We have some updates. Okay, a couple of things. The white floor tom that I showed you earlier that I thought was an earlier version of the Fibes drums, because the company started in 65 and I think started releasing drums in 66. Anyways, I thought that floor tom was a between 65 or 66 and 70. I don't think it is, based on the lugs. I learned something while watching tons and tons of videos and reading lots of stuff on the Fibes company. So I'm going to show you here what I thought was an earlier drum lug by Fibes. Straight edge. They call it the diamond shape. Really pretty thick. I thought this was the earlier lug, but apparently this flanged one, see how it's got the flange on here? Apparently the flanged one is the earlier one, and it's also the lug, I think, that went on to go with Darwin, or with quarter drums and Darwin drums after that. And I just learned recently that the latest version of Fibes, when the whole thing went full circle with Tommy Robertson, I think his name is Robinson or Robertson, he acquired the company in '94 from Darwin, and he actually brought it back to life. He did a great job, and he did drums until 2007 under the Fibes name, and I hear he's trying to start it again or get it going again. Needless to say, he did a great job with the drums. I was also surprised to see that Quarter did some innovative stuff with the hardware. But anyway, so I'm going to have to confirm that. But this old straight lug is heavy duty. Like you can feel the difference. This is definitely heavier than this. This is the materials are made out of. But this is without the flange, so I have to confirm that yet totally. So what I thought was early is not, and the one with the flange is. So I will confirm that with more reading, but there's lots of gray areas with this Fibes company. Okay. So, I have told you in the 2 previous videos that I had a Fibes bass drum, I have the Fibes snare, but I have Fibes floor toms. So that's confirmed, those are Fibes. I thought this acrylic drum was a Fibes. The badge was painted over, so I just assumed it was a Fibes. But I used this product just in light doses with water and got the paint to kind of get soft on it, and I got the badge cleaned. This ends up being a Quarter acrylic drum. Quarter being the company that acquired Fibes from the Martin Guitar Company. So we have the original Fibes company starting in '65, by I already got their names forgotten here, unfortunately. Anyways, two guys start the Fibes company in '65. I'll get the names for when I do this third part and add all this video together. They sold the company, I think, in 1970 to the Martin Guitar Company. So Fibes went to Martin Guitar Company, and like we know, drummers in history, anytime another company not related to drums buys a drum factory, ends up tanking. So Quarter buys that from Martin. They run it for 10 years. From Quarter, it goes to Darwin. Darwin was bought by some radio programmer. I don't even think he was a drummer. He had it for like 2 years. Put this money into it. Then we go to Tommy Robinson, who acquired it and basically saved the company. And hopefully he's back doing it again. So anyways, so what I have here is a Quarter drum. Now these acrylics drums, from what I understand, were Fibes did it first, or the company Zico's, but Ludwig did not do it first. So it went from Fibes Crystallites and the Zico brand, I forget their name, for their line of acrylics, and then Vistalites being the Ludwigs. So did Quarter use the same formula? I am not sure. So, but anyways, this is what we got. As for stripping the paint out of this drum that somebody had just laid in with a brush, I don't know what kind of paint they used, but what a brutal fight I've had. So I finally did a combination. Hold on. I finally tried combinations of different products to get whatever paint they had in this inner shell out. As you can see, it's becoming somewhat transparent, but I still got red scale and some white. There's some white on here also to get out of this drum. So the burgundy and white, I don't know what they did with the shell, but they murdered it. Don't do that. These drums have a history. It's like, why screw them up? Excuse me. So many people do that. So I'm trying to save this thing. So I've got some white scale left in and some red scale, as you can see. But anyway, so this ends up not being a Fibes, even though all the hardware is Fibes. Even the tom mount is Fibes, because Quarter bought the Fibes company. So I'm still going to try and save this drum. I'm still looking for a fiberglass one to go with this kit. But if I can find some imitation kind of wrap to go over this, I will. And I will try and find a way to do it without gluing it on. So we're still cleaning this drum more and more. And yeah, long battle. But we're there. The most of the heavy paint is off. And it was heavy paint. I can't explain it. I don't know. Somebody mentioned that it might be aircraft paint. It's possible. So this is what I ended up doing. I tried mineral spirits. I use this on my model cars. You get old model cars and they're painted and you want to take them all apart and strip all that paint off. Get a plastic tote, pour this shit in, and over a couple days put that model car in there, and it'll peel the paint off. So this, I did that with that drum shell, started to soften it, but not enough to make me happy. So I combined a bunch of products. I became Dr. Chemical here. So I started mixing batches, lacquer thinner, mineral spirits, paint stripper, this stuff, and even this, just to try different solutions to get that paint off. It actually worked. Did it screw up the shell? Not that I can tell, but I know they told me in videos that sometimes harsh chemicals will cause this to crack. Well, it did have one little crack at one of the lug holes when I acquired this drum, and it's still there. So no issues other than that one tiny 1/8 little crack. Still going to try and get this drum to work for me. So that's the scoop. Right now it's really cold where I am. I don't have heat in my garage, so I just wanted to do this video and show you what we're up against, and that we are slowly moving along, at least with the acrylic drum. The other drums, we're stripping the paint that was put on the metal background. It seems to be coming off with lacquer thinner only, and I don't want to use paint thinner on that. The lacquer thinner seems to be working. So when it's all done, we'll get part 4. Thanks for watching.